I'll look at it.
Scott, it was emphatic in the end, but what is it about this team? You are the comeback kings.
Yeah, obviously the way the game goes, we were going in at half-time frustrated, but the message was clear from the manager: keep calm. That's what we're saying to the players. Just keep calm. There's no need to panic. We're only a goal down, and we've been in this position before, so we know that we have good character in the team. We have good players who want to take the ball against a really difficult team. So brilliant win.
I mean, it's quite incredible. 28 points from losing positions.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way football goes. You know, we have to start games better. The manager reiterated that to us the first 30 minutes. For us, our standards was not good enough, and then after that we played much better. We had more control in the second half, and we dominated the whole second half, to be fair. So yeah, as I say, brilliant win and nothing but positives in the second half.
Were you driven on by a sense of injustice as well for the goal that was disallowed?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk about that, but the referees have to make decisions, and that's part and parcel of the game. I'm personally not a fan of VAR, but that's part and parcel of the game that we're playing now. So for us, it was a case of keeping calm. It was obviously a goal. Referees obviously made a mistake, but that happens. Everybody makes mistakes in life, and that's part and parcel of it. So yeah, nothing bad to say.
Can you afford to be generous about it now, because obviously you got the result you wanted, but at the time, were you seething?
Yeah, obviously at the time you can't accept that. For us, it was total injustice, as you say, but you just got to get on with the game. You can't let that dampen the way that we were playing towards the end of the first half, and for us to come away with 3 points at a really difficult game was pleasing.
Jose, you were leading at half-time. How and where did that one get away from you?
We play against a good team, a team that reacted. Lots of quality, lots of power, very strong players in midfield, not just technically but fundamentally physically. And they scored. We had a good reaction. We had great occasions to score the second goal. I believe that even from the position I was, Dean made a couple of very good saves, especially one on Harry Kane. I saw the ball inside. Then they scored, then we have another good reaction, then we hit the post, and we were dominant in that period, and then they go there and they score the third goal. So for me, that's the view. My opinion was a good game. My opinion, we didn't deserve this result at all, but we lost against a very good team.
Before you took the lead, were you fortunate to get away with one, a VAR decision?
I think we were unlucky because maybe Pogba should get a red card from an elbow on Sergio Aurier. So if you are going to speak about VAR, maybe we have to go deeper than that.
Okay, that's your point on Pogba, but on the goal that was disallowed, do you think you were fortunate?
I don't know anything anymore. In football, you don't know anything anymore. I watched the Fulham Wolves. I don't understand anything anymore. It's difficult to understand. So sometimes you get, sometimes you don't get, but it's very difficult to analyze. Even as a coach, many times I don't know how to comment. I don't know.
Do you think we've got real problems in the game now then? If as a coach you just don't know what's happening with VAR?
Yeah, it's difficult. You don't know. You don't celebrate a goal because you are afraid. Then you have, when you see the lines of the offside, which was not the case in this game, but in some matches, obviously with us too, you don't really understand very well if it is offside or if it's not offside. Then the contacts you don't know. It's difficult, but to speak about that after a defeat, I don't feel really comfortable.
You said you were beaten by a very good team today, but that's the 7th time this season you've been leading at half-time and not got on to win the game. Yeah. How big a concern is that?
It's a concern. I know some of the reasons, but it's very hard for me to be with you media, because when I go deeper on analyze, it's really difficult. I don't feel very comfortable, so I prefer to stay like that and just to praise my players for the effort. I believe that they gave everything they had. I believe that they deserve more than what they got, but I praise them for that. I praise United for their victory, and I prefer to stay like this.
Okay. How damaging that defeat, though, in terms of your quest for top 4? That's 6 points to get now.
Of course. We need points, and we lost 3. Of course, that's no doubts about that. There is no way to run away from that. We needed points.
Still have a game in hand.
Leicester City and West Ham separated only by a point now. Chelsea have 5th, Liverpool 6th, and Spurs marooned to some degree in 7th. Everton with 2 games in hand on them, one, as I mentioned, tomorrow night at the Amex. Marcel Desailly has been with us both last week, through this weekend, and will be here up until next Thursday. That, I would suggest to you, Marcel, was a very powerful second half performance from Manchester United. Would you agree?
Yeah, we agree. Yeah, they've really recovered, from the 1-0 down, when Song scored a goal, and we are surprised to see the collective attitude that United have shown, with surprising Pogba, who have gotten a very good position where he has really lead and allowed the passing to be fluent. So very, very surprised about United.
Manchester United have a decision to make soon about Paul Pogba's future. Would you, if you were them, keep him? Is he good enough to stay?
I think with his agent they've shown that they are not fully committed to United, and they will grab any opportunity that will come. But in football everything can change. You see the way Pogba is now, trying to get, that position that, he's been looking after, behind the striker, just, like a playmaker, because you can see he touched quite a lot of the balls, and he has that ability to help United still.
Big commitment financially, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the problem here is that the opportunity of the finance that he can get from outside is is attractive. But they still leave a space for football, and the way Solskjaer have been positioning him, quite high like this, will give him, the desire to continue and to be committed. They are also, in the Europa League, and at the same time in the Premier League, we still have the hope for United to come back.
Would you expect to see him renew his contract and stay at Manchester United?
Honestly, no. He's meant to go to somewhere else, to try and to restart everything as fresh. There's been too much on and off, from injury, lack of consistency in the performance. It's maybe time for him to finish correctly with United and maybe move to another adventure.
Where would you say that he is best suited? Where will he play next?
Not Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, as I said, he needs a team who runs correctly without him. He doesn't need to be in a team that is going to be the one who makes the difference every time, because he doesn't have that consistency. He's a real extra value in a team that runs already very well. Juventus could be one, because they have trying to rebuild a club with new players, 6 who are already in the system. Then from next season things can be good quality for Pogba. So he knows the place.
Yes. So you don't think he is the catalyst to build around? He adds to what is already there.
He adds the value from what is already there, yes.
And your feeling is he could,
the feeling
will
is that
end up
the
at
business
Juventus
is going to drag him out of United more than the passion.
That's very interesting, bearing in mind, as Leon Osman said, he's probably had his best 45 minutes, well, in recent memory anyway. I love this goal, Andy.
Yeah, this is a terrific goal. I mean, the little nutmeg there, and then how quickly Greenwood doesn't even bother taking a touch on the ball. It's just so soft when it arrives at him. He can play it first time. But just look at Cavani. I mean, I expect Aurier to have done a little. Look at Aurier's position at the back post. It's a really poor position. Cavani's goal side and onside, but that cross and that header were first class. That's what he does. I mean, if United want a centre forward, they've got one, in my opinion, in Edinson Cavani. He can do that. And, he's moaned about not having as much game time. I think he's right. He's fit, he's athletic, he's not as many.
Do you not get
injuries.
The feeling, though, that he wants to go home? He wants to play for Boca
I tell you what, I get the feeling,
and highlight his career.
I think he does, eventually. But I think if he can contribute the way he's done in the Premier League and get game time, if he can get 25, 30 league games a season for Manchester United and playing a lot of the big European nights, why would you not want to play another year there?
Because you can go home and play for Boca Juniors.
You can go home next year and play for Boca Juniors.
No, he still wants to stay in the Premier League.
I think so, Marcel.
He's passionate. You can see the commitment he has, and he's a fox. He was there. He was ready. Greenwood knew that if you cross the ball in that area, Cavani will certainly show up and make the difference.
And then Greenwood, who we were told came into the game with 1 or 2 niggles, was able to put them aside and
There's
crack
nothing
in the
negative
third.
about this.
No.
I tell you, the reason he poses such a problem to Reguilon is he doesn't know which way he's going to go. The kid's got an ability to go either side comfortably and finish equally well with his left or his right. And that's why United, one of the reasons United rate him so highly, because when he faces up Reguilon face to face here, Reguilon's got no idea where he's going. Look, he gets square on and he just dances past him as if he's not there. There's one or two will pick their bones out of that and say shouldn't get beaten near post, but when you hit it as fiercely as that, it's hard for a goalkeeper.
Beautiful move from Paul Pogba also,
Yeah, lovely.
who have brought the opportunity for
He was
Greenwood.
good second half, Pogba.
Yes.
I think he's good enough to build a team around him.
But I'm very pleased for Greenwood. Like I said, he also didn't play. He played the last game, in Europa League at front,
Yes.
by himself, and now he was on the bench and he managed to, to get some fame and some adrenaline.
Kerry Brown mentioned it prior to the game. Is there a chance at all that Manchester United are still in this title race?
Listen, there's always a chance in this league. We know that. And Manchester City's defeat yesterday, United's win today, will ramp it up a little bit. And should United win the next game in hand and close the gap to 8 points, I think it would be then, then obviously with 8 points and 7 or 8 games to go, nothing's cut and dried, Richard. Who knows what happened to City?
United, incidentally, will feel justice has been done because they were in front. This was a very good goal that the authorities decided should not stand. We've been in touch with the PGMOL. I can tell you, word for word, what they've decided.
I'm interested.
The rationale was
What?
that this wasn't a natural running position, the movement of the arm there, and therefore it was careless, and therefore it was a foul, and they are of the opinion it was a clear and obvious error by the ref, which is why they looked at it.
So finish is clear.
Didn't count. We'll come back to United's goal in just a moment, but
I mean,
here he
at
is.
the
Let's
end
hear
of the
from him.
day, the referee's only offered the chance to go in.
Well said, very well said, Scott McTominay. And of course, adding insult to injury, Spurs were in front less than 4 minutes after that goal had been disallowed. It doesn't really matter a great deal now, but might have done. This was that goal.
Yeah, decent goal. I mean, it was snaked by Lindelof to allow Lucas Moura to pick out Son. I wondered, Marcel, I said to you at half time, I wondered about the goalkeeper's way of trying to save this. He goes with his feet.
Yeah, you said it.
And I just wondered if he had dived, full length. Could he have got there?
Yeah, we'll see
when he comes across, dive. He slides with his feet.
We see it very well, the slow motion from behind. But you are right. But Song have placed the ball very well
Very
also
well.
in
Yes,
the
he
position.
has.
Yeah.
I get that, because
What?
that's something that De Gea brought to our game, I think, David De Gea, and I think
Yes.
it's obviously something that they coach at Manchester United. And he's made 2 really good saves with his feet today
Yes, he
as well,
has,
let's
but
not
what
forget.
I'm saying, as he's running across, it's difficult when you're at the near post and you block it with your feet like that and it's right at you. Then the instinct is to block it with your feet. That one was different because he's running across goal to try and close the gap down. And I just felt maybe, I don't know, listen, not a goalkeeping coach, but I just thought maybe if he dived, he might have made it more difficult for Son. But it didn't matter.
But his body position was not allowing him, to bring the hands and the body at first, in the boxes.
Jose Mourinho is ready to talk to us.
Points from the game and we didn't get them.
Cheers, Jose.
Thank you.
He obviously has got a lot more to say, and every time he does, gets himself into trouble. Has he got a point?
No, we all wondered at the beginning. You see how early it is in the football match, first 10 minutes. No one was quite sure what went on. The cameras were wide. Aurier went to ground. And no one kind of saw it. And then we see this as he runs away. And yeah, I mean, something and nothing for me.
It's more than saw the goal disallowed.
Yeah, arguably.
It's not far from the truth, but they are in the intensity of the game. You understand? When you look at the slow motion after, yes, you feel like, oh, Pogba have done something. In fact, Mourinho is maybe true what he said. But in the intensity of the game, when you are not on slow motion, it looks okay. It's part of what happened in the game many times.
Okay. Matt Critchley is waiting for us. I know not where. The first question, Matt, that I have for you.
Yes.
Are you at Brad?